and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about Ansible and deploying Docker containers on different hosts. So my problem was that I have this tool where I wanted to run tests on it, and I have a bunch of machines at home and I want to run one container on each host. And the problem was with Kubernetes, which I tried last week, that there isn't really a good way of giving rules saying I just want you to run one per host and I want to use these particular hosts to run it. That was not really a great solution to that. If you have any really great solutions to that, leave a comment in the comment section down below, but I haven't really found any. So if we switch over to my screen here, this is my implementation in Ansible. So first off, I wanted to show my build script. It's a very simple thing, just a Docker x build push platform. And I built two different platforms because I have some Raspberry Pis and some standard AMD systems. And then we have this tag here, node EA. So this is my host and then a port number in my Nexus and the program name, and then the version is just the first argument into the script, and I build dot. So then I will get something that I can actually deploy. Now I want to deploy it to different servers. So I have an inventory file here with all the servers. So currently we have node 2, one of the hosts that is very not really that powerful, and it was one of my Ceph nodes, but the hard drive that were running on it crashed, so now I can use it for build. We have node 7 and 8, which is a little bit more powerful. They are running Ceph workloads at the moment, but they can take on a bit more workloads. So I have those in here. And then we have Arondir and Marigold, which is my two Raspberry Pis. So these are the 5 servers I want to deploy to. And deploying is the script here. So it's an Ansible playbook with my inventory with an I. I use K and B, so I want to become using password. And the become method should be sudo. So I can log into the host using just a key and get into the host. And then I want to become root using sudo. So I will be required to give the password for the sudo password for root, so I can actually become root. And then I want to send in a version of this particular system, so it knows which version it should deploy. And then I run this start service YAML. And the stop script is pretty much the same, only running the stop YAML instead. So before all of this, I want to install everything. So I have everything up and running. So I created this install playbook. And it's a little bit more complicated than I would like it to be. When it comes to node 2, Marigold and Arondir, these are separate nodes which are not running any Ceph loads at the moment. So I can run Bookworm on those, which means that I can install the Python Docker, Python request, Python pip, and virtual environment and setup tools, and use these in order to deploy my Docker workloads. And the particular one that is problematic at the moment is the Python 3 request. The one that is in Bookworm works just fine to send requests to Docker. If you have the one deployed in a Bullseye, you will get an error. So I can't really send requests from Ansible with this particular Python script, which is a little bit annoying. So in the case I can use it, I deploy these packages. But on all hosts, I will also deploy apt transport, CS certificates, curl, GNU, and software properties common, the latest package of those. Then I will download the Docker, the Docker keys, get the latest of those, add the Docker repository for Bullseye. It works with Bullseye for both systems. I could, of course, say that some of the servers should have Bookworm here, but it works for both of them. And then I will install a couple of Docker CE, Docker CLI, and container D. So I have all of those packages on all systems. So that is my install script, not that complicated. But remember, here we have Node 2, Marigold, and Arondir. Those are the servers which are running Bookworm and can be deployed using this request. So that when we go over to the start service here, we can see that we first have a part here for Node 7 and Node 8, the ones that couldn't do this. So here I have written something that runs in the shell instead. So in here, so I have pull image. It will run Docker image, pull, and from the particular version here, we have WebArch version. And then we have start image, it's Docker run, daemon, remove after use with a name, and here I will get the inventory of the host name, and then worker 1. So I always deploy worker 1. In some cases where I can run multiple workers, I will have worker 2 as well here. And then we will have the worker name is something that I will send to the actual program so it can identify itself. And then I will fetch the version down here. So that is pretty much the deploy of this, running the particular system up here. But for those that had this Python request that could run it, it's much easier. It's more declarative. So here I can say that I want to become root. I want to pull a default Docker image. I just say community Docker image, and then what image do I want to pull, and source pull. And then I will create some containers. And so here I can go in and say create a container with this particular name, and this is the particular image, detach, true, and then an environment variable that I want to send in. So these two up here and down here are identical. The difference is that here I run shell scripts, and down here I can run the actual real way you would like to run it in a declarative way in Ansible. You could also, of course, add to this container here that you want to run a couple of them. So I can say I want to run 3 of the particular Docker containers and so on. So there is a bunch of extra parameters you can use here in the declarative way. So next up, we have the stop service. So I can close that. And here we have the Node 7 and 8, the ones that I can't really do anything with, so I need to run shell. I become here and I run the start image, Docker stop, and the particular worker. And in the case where I can run it, I can run the same here. So on these machines, stop all running, Docker containers, the particular name, state stopped, and it will stop it. So, as you see, there is a way to do Ansible scripts, even if you have some of the particular things not working for you. You can always run a shell script in this. It's not really something that I would suggest in all workloads, because Ansible actually figures out if the particular containers are running and then stop them. So if I run this script and the containers are already stopped up here, it will crash and say that it failed. But if I could run this particular one where it says, okay, I want them to be stopped and none of them are running, then it will say everything was fine, everything is stopped, because it tries to get to that particular state. So that it's a much better way of defining things in Ansible. So this was what I wanted to cover today. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you liked this video. Give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. If you have any comments or suggestions, leave that in the comment section down below. And I really hope to see you in the next video.